Welcome back. So in this box is the 2013 Acer Chromebook C720. It's the first Chromebook model I owned, and that was back in 2014. Approaching 2026, I thought it would be fun to take a look back and see how much Chromebook design and ChromeOS have evolved. I've posted about this before, so I paid under £169, that's about $225 US, and that was back in 2014, picking this one up from Tesco in the UK. In 2025, that's the equivalent of £229 adjusted for inflation. I'll show you later on what that could buy you in terms of a Chromebook today. First off, props to Acer for the box design. So it was really still early days for Chromebooks in 2013. That was 2 years after the official launch, and you can tell that from this box design. It's pretty standout, certainly compared to some of what we see today, and it's really trying to convey the nature of a Chromebook to differentiate it from the obvious competition. So I picked this one up off eBay, of course, but like mine I had before, the owner that sold it has kept all of the original packaging, which is really cool to see. Of course, there's the obligatory paperwork. I actually quite enjoyed looking back at this setup guide. So thinking for most people at the time, a Chromebook was a pretty new idea. So sharing some of the basic controls and going into a bit of detail on things like gestures was pretty nice. There's also the international traveler's warranty that's still sealed. Kind of shows you how useful these are to most people. They always felt like a waste of paper, although we get slightly less these days, it's still not gone completely digital. Then we get to the charger. So I think we pretty much take USB-C charging for granted now on our Chromebooks, phones and other devices. So sadly, one of the biggest drawbacks in hindsight on Chromebooks from back in the day, the dedicated charger. It is 65 watt though, and today we're actually seeing more of a move to 65 watt chargers from 45 watt chargers, and that's to enable faster charging. Back then, I assume it was more of a necessity. In terms of its size and weight, including the British wall plug here though, I don't think it's too bad at all. Getting to the Chromebook itself, so it's an 11.6-inch Chromebook in Acer's granite grey colour. It is of course all plastic, but it actually feels pretty well put together, and this one has really stood the test of time, feeling pretty solid. Obviously with a number of marks and scratches that don't look too bad to my eye, but I'm sure the camera will pick up in more detail. Back in 2014, I remember this Chromebook feeling pretty light, certainly against some of the Windows laptops I'd been using at the time. I've weighed this one in now and it's coming in at 1.18 kg, that's about 2.60 pounds. It's actually lighter than the advertised weight of 1.25 kg. So regardless, that weight seems pretty fair even when you compare it to modern day Chromebook standards. If I was comparing this to a modern day Acer Chromebook, it would probably be the Acer Chromebook 311, so another 11.6-inch device. That one's got the Intel M100 processor, and the Chromebook was released in 2024. That one weighed in at about 1.20 kg, so really not too much change over the years. So whilst the Acer logo has remained pretty much unchanged, the Chrome rather than Chromebook branding on the lid of the C720 is definitely a sign we're dealing with a more senior Chromebook here. By the way, look at the slight overlap of the lid on the base of the Chromebook here at the back of it. It's really weird in a way, but not in another way, as even the Acer Chromebook 514 that I showed you this year, 2025, you can see has the same design style, so some things really don't change. I don't think I was the only one to notice this either, so this recent comment on my last video came at a good time. Taking a look at ports and connectivity, and starting on the left of the Chromebook, so we've got that DC in for the power. By the way, the move to USB-C charging for Chromebooks looks to have really started on models in around 2017. Then we've got an HDMI port, pretty essential as you couldn't get display out anywhere else. This one is version 1.4a. We do still see a lot of Chromebooks today with version 1.4b ports, only the odd premium one with version 2.0. So perhaps we haven't moved quite as far as I'd hoped there. Next, there's a full-size USB-A 3.0 port. You can hopefully just about see the blue color on it to signify that it was USB 3.0. Hold that thought though until we get to the other side of the Chromebook. And before then, we've got the all-important headphone microphone combo jack. And then we can look over on the right-hand side. So starting on the left, there's a full-size SD card reader, which were more common than micro SD card readers that we see now. Then we've got another USB-A port, so the second one on the device, but this one you'll notice is black, so it's just USB 2. A cost decision, I believe, as the board and the processor could have supported more USB 3 ports than just that one that we've seen on the left-hand side. Finally, next to that, there's a Kensington lock port to keep these locked down in classrooms, as just like today, from the launch, Chromebooks were targeted at the education sector. For wireless connectivity, there was both version 4 of Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so fairly up to date for the day. Taking a look at the bottom of the Chromebook, and there is a grill for ventilation for the processor's fan. We'll talk more about the processor in just a bit. As you may expect to find, we've also got the speakers down here on the front edges. Having tested them out again a bit, to be honest, they're not that bad, especially considering the age. So possibly something that hasn't changed too much on some entry-level Chromebooks, but we are seeing more of them now with upward-firing speakers on the keyboard decks. It's also nice to see that this one hasn't been opened up by the looks of things, as we've still got the Acer sticker over the screw hole in the middle, something again that we see slightly less these days. The larger sticker on the bottom isn't exactly subtle, these have definitely shrunk over time, however a lot of the key information remains the same. On this one you can see the manufacture date, it's in an American date format but making no difference for this particular one, as it was made on the 6th of June 2014. My actual C720 was a little bit earlier, manufactured in February that year. I nearly forgot to mention it, but on the back edge next to the vent there's this blanking plate. I believe in some regions there was a model option with cellular data that had a SIM card tray here. So something that's still pretty rare on Chromebooks, but does appear as an option in some model lines still. Opening up the Chromebook and the screen goes back 145 degrees. On most modern clamshell Chromebooks now, the display can go back 180 degrees, flat against the keyboard deck. But that said, even the current king of Chromebooks, the Lenovo Chromebook Plus 14, has a screen that goes back 135 degrees, albeit a vastly superior one. If you can check out the front edge of the Chromebook, you'll find these power and battery charge status lights. Now you just see an LED built into the power button or next to the USB-C port on the side of a Chromebook. As for the keyboard itself, we've got that classic early Chromebook keyboard layout with the original search key which evolved into the launcher and then the quick insert key in more modern Chromebooks. Honestly, typing on this now, it feels kind of bad, and that will be partly age. Back in the day, though, I used it without any complaints. If you look up to the top left of the keyboard deck, you've got the ambient light sensor to adjust the screen brightness, and also the small hole next to that for the microphone. This definitely looks pretty odd today and a bit retro, so in a modern laptop or Chromebook, those are nearly always near the webcam and fairly unnoticeable unless you're really looking for them. At least they're hid better in the bezel up there. The slight irony of it with this C720 is I'm not convinced it was actually always using that light sensor, and the auto screen brightness setting didn't exist in ChromeOS at the time, at least not in the UI. It's maybe a case of the hardware being slightly ahead of the software at the time. The touchpad by modern day standards seems tiny, it's well seated though, no looseness after these years. The marketing also said it had click anywhere functionality, which sounds a bit of an odd thing to have to market on a device these days. We've got the Intel sticker on the keyboard with the Intel Inside branding, but the one thing this Acer was missing was the promotional sticker from the keyboard deck. So this image I'm showing is from an eBay listing from Tech Trolley UK. From the photo on the keyboard deck you can see it uses the new type of computer slogan again, and it boasts about some of the key selling points. We've got the fast boot up, 7 seconds. To be honest, it's not like we're that much quicker these days, but this was pretty amazing at the time, at least to me. Battery life claimed at 8.5 hours here, so from memory that was pretty fair, and again one of the biggest benefits of moving to this Chromebook. So targets today are often marketed higher, but with real world usage perhaps closer to this. And although we have more efficient Chromebooks, we're also doing even more with them. I'll tell you about the battery health and battery cycles of this one in just a bit. It mentions SSD for the storage, so not the type you may expect today, but it is in the form of an M.2 drive with a SATA connection, and the storage of course is tiny at just 16 gig. The free apps are mentioned, so this would have been the Chrome App Store rather than the Android apps we're used to today, so there's definitely no Google Play Store on this one. Automatic updates are mentioned on the sticker as a key selling point of course, and yep, just like we have today, but of course this one is no longer getting ChromeOS updates and is going to be very out of date. We'll look at that more in just a bit. 100 gig of Google Drive storage space for 2 years is mentioned as well, so that was definitely a nice perk at the time, a bit like we have with some of the Google AI perks today. And finally, virus protection, so again something we probably just take for granted now, but perhaps seemed like more revolutionary back then. So getting set up on the C720 and ChromeOS here is a bit of a blast from the past. so drop a comment if you remember the setup looking anything like this. It eventually just hung when I got to this point. Powering it back up though, it took me to the logon screen, so all good. When I checked the actual build of ChromeOS, this C720 is stuck at ChromeOS 76. So that release was back in August 2019. Oddly, I wasn't seeming to get any warning about this Chromebook being out of date or past its last update. Instead, it claimed ChromeOS was up to date. I remember when I was approaching August 2019 though, I was getting warnings about the end of ChromeOS updates on this device. So I'm not sure why there wouldn't be some sort of messaging on this one now. I used the command line Crosh to check the battery cycles and health. So just 175 cycles and a bit under 77% battery health. For a battery that's been in this Chromebook for over 11.5 years, I'm pleasantly surprised. Of course, if you want to check your battery health on a newer Chromebook, that's much easier in ChromeOS now, as it's all baked into the UI via the diagnostics feature. If you've only used ChromeOS in the last few years, you'll certainly be taken aback by how things look here. But for me, even back in the day, the beauty and the simplicity of just being able to be up and running in seconds rather than minutes, and into a full-blown browser experience on a lightweight laptop type device was just such a convenience. So looking at the hardware spec, so at the time this one had an up-to-date processor. It was the 2013 Intel Haswell Celeron, and it was a 2955U. That was paired with 2GB of DDR3 RAM and 16GB of storage in that format that I've mentioned, the M.2 drive with a SATA connection. So that Haswell Celeron was quite a jump forward at the time, delivering on the holy grail of performance and battery life. Certainly when you compare it to some of the earlier Atom processors that were about shortly before it. Today, of course, as I say, this is all pretty ancient, but just for web basics in a very unsecure way, it is still passable, but I wouldn't recommend it. I'm not sure I realized it at the time, as I could have got a bit of tech envy, but apparently there was a 4GB of RAM model out there too. Plus, if you were particularly flash, there was the C720p model, and that boasted a touch display. It also came in a snazzier color option of moonstone white. But on the flip side, the touch display meant it weighed more, and it had slightly worse battery life too. Taking a look at the display, and it's possibly the weakest area of the C720, even back in the day, but that also means it's where Acer saved costs to keep the price down. It's 11.6 inches in a 16:9 aspect ratio with a matte finish, and it's got an HD resolution of 1366 by 768. It is TN, unfortunately, rather than IPS, so again, the viewing angles of this one really aren't great, and it's claimed at 220 nits of brightness. It's meant to have a 60Hz refresh rate, as do a lot of modern Chromebooks still, but filming this one at 30 FPS, it really showed up the scroll effect on the display, and I don't normally pick that up in my videos. It certainly was usable, but even the worst new display I've seen on a Chromebook recently is a big step up from this. The display's bezels are pretty beefy as you'd expect to, and in the top of this one you find the HD webcam, and as you may expect, it's pretty awful by today's standards. There's an LED to show you when it's in use, but no manual privacy slider as you'd be used to finding on a Chromebook these days. If you are still watching, hopefully that means this video is worth a like. So please do click on that thumbs up icon. I've really enjoyed putting this one together, so I hope you've liked it. Also, let me know in the comments what your first Chromebook was and how it compares to this Acer. As I mentioned at the start of the video, what I paid back in 2014 is the equivalent of about £229 today. If you were shopping for a Chromebook today, that would get you a pretty solid 14-inch Chromebook Plus model with a decent ChromeOS experience powered by a modern processor and 8GB of RAM. You can check out two examples now in the video on the right-hand side of your screen to watch next. That's the 2025 Acer Chromebook Plus 514 and the Asus Chromebook Plus CX14. Otherwise, the YouTube algorithm's choice is the video on the left of your screen to watch. Cheers.